Okay, so in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get out of the spam folder really fast in 2025 without losing your mind. Okay, e-commerce edition. So let's dispel a myth. Deliverability is actually really easy. There's a lot of gurus out there that will make it sound really difficult because they want to sell you a course or a service to fix it, right? I'm going to make it easy for you to fix it yourself so that you don't have to spend a fortune hiring somebody to do something that's actually quite easy to do. Okay? So, firstly, deliverability. If you're not sure what it means and you have some fear around it and you want a little bit of an understanding, let me explain. So, inbox providers like Google or Apple, they want to give you, the user, the best possible experience. Yeah, they want to show you emails that they think you want to see and hide ones that they think you don't want to see. Okay, so how they do that is they give you a score based on the kind of emails that you as a brand or an email sender would send over. Okay, so if the score is good, then you'll typically land in the primary tab more often than not. Now, I say more often than not because it's not a given that you just land in the primary tab if everything's perfect. And I'll explain a little bit about that in a moment. If your sender score is bad, you'll end up in spam almost always. Not always, but almost always. Okay. And this is where you end up. This is like my spam folder. Just people sending me things that I don't want to see and don't really. These are all cold emails, I think. Like people trying to sell me something, or I don't want to see them. I don't care for them. So they're in my spam folder. These people are clearly sending loads of irrelevant emails to people like myself, and the likes of Google are saying, this is probably spam. So it's in the right place. Okay. Now, bit of a caveat. If you're an e-commerce brand and you send a lot of promotional emails, you're probably going to end up in the promo tab. Now, that doesn't always mean that your sender score is bad. It just means you're sending a lot of promotional emails that should be in a promotional tab. So if you send 10 emails a month and almost all of them are some kind of discount or product drop or offer or bundle or something like that, then quite rightly you're going to be in the promo tab more often than not. So that's where balance needs to kind of happen in the emails that you send. You need to be sending relevant emails based on the time of the journey that somebody's in, whether they're a new subscriber, a first time buyer, a non-buyer, repeat buyer, VIP, a high spender. Every one of these people needs a different journey to go on. Okay, so we want to avoid this by improving our deliverability score on our domain by sending the right kind of emails. Okay, so reason why you probably end up in spam as an email sender, right? And this is specifically for e-commerce brands that use Klaviyo, for example, right? If you imagine unwanted people coming to your house, right, knocking on the door and trying to come in, you're not going to let them in, right? So why would Google and Apple do the same? Like you would be pissed off if every email that somebody tried to send you just ended up in your inbox. You'd be like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. Okay, so the same for your house. You wouldn't just open your door and let everybody come in. You'd be like, I don't know you, I don't want you here, go away. Now, a good kind of couple of metrics to look at overall is if your open rate is above 50% and your click rate is above 1%, you're in a pretty good spot. Now, some people say, oh, you need to have 5%. For e-commerce, it's different, right? When you're sending emails as a coach to a highly engaged audience, it's a completely different game. Okay, so when you are sending emails as an online store, 1% is fine. Do you want to go for 3%? Of course. Do you want to go for an open rate of 70%? Of course. But if you're hovering above 50% and 1%, you're probably going to be in a good spot. Now, if you're having open rates of like 20% and below and a click rate of 0.5% and below, then you're going to be in a pretty poor spot. Okay. Now, if you have high open rates and low click rates, that's a slightly different story around messaging, which we're going to get into. Okay. So we're going to jump into how to fix this in a moment. But obviously, a bit of a shameless plug. If you want access to my free 51-page email guide, go to this cool website here, screenshot it, type it in, send that over to you, and then I send semi-regular actionable email marketing strategy straight to your inbox. No fluff and rubbish, like things you can actually use and implement today. Well, I'll send that to your inbox. So hopefully you'll keep me out of spam, right? Now, how to get out of spam. Now we have to make the assumption that your DNS settings are locked in. Okay, you've got your DMARC, your DKIM, your SPF, right? If you've got those locked in, and for whatever reason you're seeing low open and low click rates, it's going to be one of the below reasons that I've talked about. But if you're using Klaviyo and you don't have any warnings on your screen, chances are that these three things here are in a good spot. Now, if you're unsure, you can go to easydmarc.com and you can type in your domain and it'll tell you what you have and what you don't have, and you can fix it. That'll be for a separate video as well. So one of the reasons is your sender score is low. Okay, your open rate is like below 40%. Okay, this is going to be a great sign that you're going to be landing in the spam and the promo folders quite regularly. Okay, if you're seeing that your open rate is like 20-30%, especially on Klaviyo where sometimes it's inflated, then we need to engage some kind of strategic sending. Now, at the time of doing this video, this is the process that we use for people that have poor deliverability. Okay, so the very first thing we do is we create a 30-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day click engage segment, which is like this one here. So you go into Klaviyo, you create a segment, and it's anybody who can receive marketing and a person who has clicked an email at least once in 90 days, 60 days, and 30 days. Now, once we've got those, we're just going to send some plain text emails, and it can be the same email when you ramp this up, but send a plain text email to your 30-day click engaged audience. Okay, that's going to get your open rates up, that's going to get your click rates up, that's going to tell the likes of Google and Apple you're sending relevant messaging. Okay, and it might be that the first one you send is still quite low. It shouldn't be. It should be quite high quite quickly. If it is, then wait a day and send it to the wider audience whilst excluding those who have received the first email, and then across to 90 day from there. There's no specific time frame of like this takes 6 weeks, 5 weeks, 4 weeks. Okay, it probably takes 4 or 5 weeks to get right to the top again, but to get in a good position, you will see that like within the first week of sending these emails out. So send the plain text emails to your 30-day audience, click engage audience, ramp it up. Do that, send 1 to 2 different kinds of plain text emails every week until that goes up. If for some reason you can't get it above 30, then 2 things are in place. Either your technicals are wrong, or you need to drop down to like a 15-day click engaged. We don't normally do that. We've never needed to do that, but potentially one of those 2 things. Once your open rates are at 50% and click rates are above 1%, just increase these to 90 days, right? And then keep increasing them until you get 50% and 1% click rates at 90-day click engaged. Then from there you can expand it out a little bit more. And then what you want to do is create a 30, 60, and 90-day open and click engagement segment. So it'd just be somebody who can receive marketing and they've clicked an email or opened an email in the last 90 days, 60 days, and 30 days, as you can see here. And then just do the same again. Send relevant emails to these people. Keep them quite general. Let people know what's going on in the business. Let them know about product drops. Send some fun messaging that gets people to reply. And make sure you have something that people can click as well, right? And then once you get to the point where your 90-day open and click engage segments are at 50% open and 1% click, go back to normal sending. 2 to 3 campaigns a week to your wider audience. Designs, plain text, the mix of both. Send out to your audience from there, and you'll start to then increase from there. There's more we can jump into around how to get it even better, but like we just want to get you out of spam and into the position where you can actually get in front of your audience. So that's that. Take a screenshot of that if you want. Any questions on this one, because I know it can be quite confusing, just drop a comment below and I'll happily answer them at any point. Okay, so if it's not that, let's say you've got low open rates, okay? Anything below, 40, 30%. We want to aim for 60% in Klaviyo. I know there's like 30, 40, 50, 60%. We aim for 60% because Klaviyo gets inflated numbers, from the likes of Google and Apple. So we know that if it's 60%, it's going to be 40% plus, right? Some reasons that people aren't going to be opening your emails, right? You're going to spam because your sender score is goosed. It means it's fucked. So the above slide. Or more likely your emails are irrelevant and people aren't opening them. So what we want to do is send relevant emails. Now what you'll see on here is I haven't send beautifully designed baity emails like other gurus will tell you, because it doesn't make any difference. Okay. First thing you do, segment your audience based on engagement and buying behavior. So a bit like the slide above, make some segments based on one-time buyers, repeat buyers, VIPs, people that are engaged over a period of time. Bring those together. So you might have one-time buyers that are engaged over 30 days. Then start to send emails that are relevant to their stage in the journey. Okay, so the way I would do it is I would have my non-buyers, my one-time buyers, repeat buyers, and VIPs as a real basic level if I wanted to get out of spam. And I would send relevant messaging to those 4 people because they're not the same. Your one-time buyers who haven't purchased for a while might churn out. Your repeat buyers are like on track to becoming VIPs, and your VIPs, like they know the score, right? They know what's up. So do that and send relevant emails. Craft messaging that resonates and design that does delight. Okay, so make sure the messaging resonates. If it's a non-buyer, like, are you just going to keep throwing offers at them? I mean, that's one way to do it, but it's not the best way to do it. You want to send copy that helps them go from thinking about you as a possible solution to thinking about you as the only solution. And that's when you write copy and use relevant design that helps them go from, maybe these guys can help too, this is the one thing I need to buy. And then test subject lines relentlessly, okay, to see what gets more opens. So a couple of caveats here, personalized subject lines where possible. Could be like, hey, something for Daniel, or a gift for whoever, something like that. Something personal. It could also be personalized in the sense of if they've been looking at a specific collection of products. It could be like, hey, we've seen you looking at collection. Keep it short, so less is more. This should say to you, from you, but for some reason I've typed it wrong. But that's like a 4-word subject line. That's like to you, from you. People know what that is. It's like, hey, here's a gift to you from yourself. Like, treat yourself, self-indulgent, yeah? Communicate urgency or intrigue. So it could be like, hey, the last call for this, or did you see this, or 5 ways to achieve this. Number 3 will surprise you. That's one that we see quite a lot. And then add humor as a pattern interrupt. Okay, so like only open if you're a legend. Like if I read that, I'd be like, well, I think I'm a bit of a legend. I'll open that. Make it funny, not rude, not crass, but make it something that people like. When you look at your email inbox and you've just got like 20 emails, it's like all the way down, and you see something that like makes you smile, probably going to open it, yeah. Okay, now your open rates are fine, you're happy with those, but you've got low click rates, right? Something less than 1%. This is something we see more often than not. This is typically the problem, and it can take some time to figure out for your brand what kind of messaging makes sense to your audience. Okay, so if you're getting like the 50% opens, 60% opens, but your clicks are low, it's usually you're sending the wrong message to the wrong person at the wrong time. Okay, and again, I've said this before, it's all about the stage on the journey that your customer is at. Okay, new buyers, they don't want to be sold to, they've just bought something from you. Okay, new subscribers, they need more convincing, they don't really know who you are. VIPs, like, just give them gifts, offers, and discounts and bundles. Like they love you. They like you give them anything, they think you're the best. Okay, and then also your emails need to drive action. So not just a big wall of text around how great you are. Like drive them in a direction to do a thing. Like, hey, here's this thing. Here's how you get it. Go here. So, how to fix this? Segment your audience based on engagement and buyer behavior. Already said this. Send messaging they actually want to see. Said this already. Make it clear and one directional. So if I give you 2 examples of these emails here, this is an email for somebody that's new. It's like, well, what makes us us? We're into fashion that stands the test of time, exceptional quality, and crafted pieces we know you'll love. Striving to improve our impact on the planet. It tells people who they are. So if somebody reads that and thinks, well, I care about the planet and I want high quality, products that I can have for ages, I might buy at Boden. Now, if you've got this one here that's like, we believe in better, congratulations on your recent purchase, you're now protecting and reviving your skin with beauty that breaks the cycle, blah, blah, blah. And then there's some more text. Did you know? Some more information, read more. These are two completely different emails. But somebody who recently buys is like, oh, I'll read that. And then you can educate them more about why they should buy with this product rather than, just, oh, here's 20% off, here's 30% off, here's 40% off. Like, people aren't going to buy with 40% off unless they want to, unless they're ready to buy. Yeah. So that's really, really important as well. So just to scroll back up. Okay. This is making sure your message is relevant. Okay. So you've got your subject lines that are relevant or making sense. You need to send messaging that's relevant as well. Okay. You need to drive action. Don't just send things that are like easy and fun to read, because people just read and then they'll go. This is something I've seen with lots of brands where they're like, well, we want them to read a nice email. Cool, be broke then. Like, that's not going to work. Okay, some other considerations. So something I see quite a lot is like, design is the most important thing. It's not. Okay, we send some really ugly emails for some brands and they print lots of money. We send plain text emails for some brands and they make lots of money. So design matters to a degree. Like, have the right kind of imagery that's clear, it's easy to read, it conveys a message, it lets people know what there is. But do you need to go to the ends of the earth to have the most beautifully designed emails? No. All you got to do is go and have a look on Gymshark's emails. They're ugly. There's no personality to them. The copy is pretty poor. But I still buy from them because I love their products. So they could send me a plain text email saying, hey, do you want some shorts? Click. Because I want to buy some shorts from Gymshark. Should you use plain text emails? Yes, absolutely. Use them from time to time, a couple of months, send them to different areas of your audience. Pro tip from our experience, if you send a plain text email to somebody who has purchased a product and they're due to kind of buy again, sending them a plain text email with a small offer to let them know that you appreciate them and their purchase and you value their business. Here's a 10% discount on your next order. That will print you lots of money all day long. We do it time and time and time and time and time again, and it just prints. And then, can I not just send to 120-day engaged? I've actually been asked this quite a lot. Now, of course you can. If you just want to send 10 emails a month to 120-day engaged audience, of course you can. But things that will happen is over time, you'll end up relying on things like discounts and offers because your messaging will be too generic. I would prefer to send messaging to like the 4 key camps of your non-buyers, one-time, repeat, and VIP buyers overall, and then split those 4 based on engagement, and then you can send messaging from there. You don't need to go much deeper into like, this person looked at this product twice 7 months ago. Like, it's not good ROI for the time that you put into the email. It isn't going to make a big difference for you. So yes, you can send to 120-day engaged audience if you want all the time. That's better than sending to your entire list like some brands do. It will keep you going for a while. But like, if we're in the business of sending good emails that build lasting, brand relationships, then like do the 4 things that I mentioned. Yeah. And did I miss one? No. And that's it. So shameless plug time. You got this far. Thank you. Appreciate deliverability isn't the sexiest of email topics. But if you're an e-commerce brand, you're making at least 50k a month in revenue, drop me a message on one of the channels that are at the top of the YouTube. Reach out for a free assessment to see how and if we can get you to 40% revenue from email. Full transparency, some brands can't get there. Depends what they're doing, where they're at. But for clarity, our average is like 40.5%, sometimes 41% on a good month. Of our, across the board, we achieve like 40.5% revenue. So I'd like to think we know what we're doing. So if that's you, this is you here, reach out. There will be a link below to book a call. Just book a call. You'll be with me. We'll have a chat. You can leave your credit card at home, and I'll give you some free advice. And if it makes sense, I'll tell you about how we can help you. Appreciate watching. Take it easy.